Hey guys, it's John again. I'm gonna do my first Dreamcast month video, and it's gonna be about the Dreamcast story that you've had, which is what we're gonna be talking about. Mine personally started about in 2003 or 2002. A GameStop just opened up about 5 minutes away from where I live, and at the time they were still selling everything. It was right about the end of when they stopped selling new used old school games, you know, like Genesis, Super Nintendo, and nonsense like that. They still carried NES games, and yeah, I don't think they had Saturn games, and they carried Dreamcast games, and they're selling Dreamcasts for $30. And I saw this, and I was like, you know what the hell, let's buy it. I bought a Dreamcast and bought 4 games with it, which were Soul Fighter, what else did I get? Gauntlet, Dead or Alive 2, and Industrial Spy. And none of the games worked other than Soul Fighter, so that was really all I had to base my views on the Dreamcast. It was Soul Fighter, and Soul Fighter was an absolutely terrible game. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, this game was just bad. It was a 3D beat 'em up. I think it was it came around the beginning of the Dreamcast, and it was just terrible. I'll do a review on it just to show you guys what exactly went wrong with the game. But yeah, you know, and so I took my games back, and I was like, alright, these games don't work. Then I got Soul Calibur and Gauntlet Legends. Those games didn't work either. So I thought maybe my Dreamcast was broken. So I went through, I returned it, got another one. Not even Soul Fighter worked on that one, so I returned that one and got another one, and that Dreamcast did work. So what happened was, in order to make sure these games work, what we did is we brought in the Dreamcast and tested out the games on it before we did anything. And sure enough, I found a copy of Soul Calibur that worked, and yeah, I remember one of the guys that was there, he tried 3 Dead or Alives out, and none of them worked. So it took me a while to find a working copy of Dead or Alive 2. You know, and you know, really that was basically my basis of gaming, the GameCube and that for a while. You know, and then with the GameCube, the thing was I was really looking forward to Soul Calibur 2 because I heard that Link was going to be in it. And I was like, you know, let me check out Soul Calibur 1, and I was just ridiculously blown away by it. Just the presentation of it, you know, graphically, and, you know, the soundtrack and everything. And I was just like, wow. And, you know, the Dreamcast was really my first introduction into fighting games, other than Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter on Super Nintendo that I played with my cousin that I was just terrible at. And, you know, I really didn't like fighting games, so I was no good at them. And, you know, once I got the Dreamcast, things changed. You know, I started to appreciate it more. You know, I eventually found a working copy of Dead or Alive 2, loved that game. Got into Marvel vs. Capcom, loved that. Street Fighter Third Strike and all that stuff. But one thing that really struck me is about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I found out that there's a big homebrew scene for the Dreamcast, and I found out that if any model made before June 2000 can play burned discs. And I looked on the back of mine, and it was September 1999. It was a launch console, so I was good to go. And I got 2 games that were homebrew, Strider X and Castlevania Symphony of Destruction. They're both based off of Beats of Rage, which is something similar to Streets of Rage. It's an engine like that. And yeah, I played like Streets of Rage. Symphony of Destruction was absolutely terrible. It was like 3 levels, and this boss is the same. But Strider X was awesome. It was like really long. It had cutscenes and everything, and I was really pleased with that. And then I found out, you know, people are still making homebrew games for this, and you know, since I have an early model, I can just put in a boot disk and I can import games. You know, I never really went around doing that, but you know, I know people who have, and I've played their games, and it's pretty sweet. You know, but really, one thing that I really do credit the Dreamcast to, as far as I have, is introducing me into fighting games. I mean, if it wasn't for the Dreamcast, I probably wouldn't be enjoying BlazBlue right now, or, you know, when I was in the Philippines playing Street Fighter 4 with my cousin and actually standing a chance, or, you know, any of these things. Another one that, you know, really blew me away was Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. I had a ton of fun with that. You know, I first played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for GameCube, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. And then, you know, I got Sonic Adventure 1, and I was just like, you know, this is really what Sonic should be like. And, you know, in 3D, and, you know, how we haven't seen anything since that, which is pretty sad. What was another game? Gauntlet Legends, I had a lot of fun with. I had the 64 version, and this one had a few new characters in it that were available in Dark Legacy. What else did we have that I had a lot of fun with? Can't remember. You know, anything that's really, really, really sticks out that I haven't already mentioned. But, you know, that's really all I can say. Oh, Grandia 2! I totally forgot. I keep on thinking that's a PS2 game now. But Grandia 2 was, you know, one of my early RPGs in the days, you know, right after I played Final Fantasy 8 and 9. That was basically the first RPG I ever played that wasn't a Final Fantasy, and, you know, that game just friggin' blew me away. I mean, I had a ton of fun with that game. And, you know, it really opened my doors into RPGs, and it also came with the soundtrack, which, you know, kind of opened me up to video game music. It was just really a great experience owning a Dreamcast. And, you know, if you're somebody who, you know, likes arcade games and doesn't want to spend too much money, I would recommend getting a Dreamcast. If you're willing to put up the money, I'd recommend getting a Neo Geo, but that's just way too much money for me. But if you have the money and you're willing to spend it, go ahead. You know, get an arcade stick for Dreamcast online. It's about maybe $50, I think. And yeah, have a blast. I mean, that's what I had with my Dreamcast, and I still play it frequently. I mean, I play that thing every day. You know. But yeah, I'm just really happy it still works. So anyway, as for now, it's John out.